Hi, I'm Craig with Datavideo. We're here in Las Vegas at the NAB show 2025. And so today what we're doing here is at our booth, we actually decided to show a new concept on how to do a podcast without an operator. And so we built an actual podcast in our booth and we set it up, and we've had customers come in here and we've had real podcasters come in here and actually do a production. It's been really exciting, and we've got a lot of interest in this concept. So before we wrap it up here and tear it down, we want to talk about it and show you exactly, or talk about how this all was working for us here at NAB. With me, I have Rob Reed. He's actually associate of mine, and we're working together on this. And Rob, can you give us a little bit of how this podcast works and how come it can be automated like this?
Absolutely. Thanks, Craig. And, we designed this product to be able to automate a production or automate a conference. And, we're here at NAB and we thought, hey, why don't we just show how we can actually automate a podcast? And so what we have here is we have 3 cameras, and we have a new product called the VoiceTRX100. It integrates with APIs of audio systems. And it just happens so that we are using a microphone that's hung on the ceiling here in our podcasting area. And it's taking XYZ positional data from where you and I are sitting at in the room. And so when I start talking, you notice it goes to the wide shot and then switches to me. Yeah. And then when you start talking, it goes to the wide shot and switches to you. Yeah.
So when I start talking, you'll probably see this wide shot. There it is. And then then you'll see a close-up of me, that's what you want in a podcast, right? Someone's actually physically switching this normally, but in this case, it's all automated. So in reality, this is a lot of customers were asking about this. You don't really need this microphone for the positional data. Is that correct? So we have a different product that's just taking the positional data of where we're sitting in this space. Right?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And that's the cool thing about how we set this up and how we've designed our VoiceTRX product, or we're calling it autocasting, is you can take a ceiling array like we're using for this one and use your existing microphone, your podcast setup, and fully automate it. Yeah. But if you didn't want to install a ceiling array, or it's not practical, there's a lot of different applications this could be used for. For example, city council or church, or those type of applications, collaborative spaces, training rooms. We have another partnership that we just started testing. We haven't officially announced yet, but I think it's safe to say it's all working. We can show what that is.
Right. This is what we do at NAB show, right? You have to have new announcements, new ideas that we discuss. So show us what you have for a new announcement from Datavideo.
Yeah, so this is a product from Allen Heath. It's a AHM. It is a 16x16 audio processor.
Okay.
And what's cool about it is it has your analog inputs on here. So just a little Phoenix connector with XLR. You can plug your microphones directly into here and use this as your audio mixer, audio processor. It's got DSP built into it. And we can take the API data from this audio processor, and VoiceTRX can pick that up and trigger just like it's doing with the ceiling array. The only challenge, or not challenge, I should say, just thing to consider is it doesn't take positional data. It's just trigger data.
Right.
But the other cool thing about this particular audio processor is it can take GPI in. So you can set trigger pads or contact closures. So if you step or stand in a certain area of a room, even though we're not using XYZ, it'll actually take positional data and switch a camera, move a camera.
So more for like your house of worship option, or a training room, or even imagine even a cooking show. You stand right in front of where you're preparing all your food, and maybe have a top-down shot. When you step on that pad, it would trigger it.
100%.
So again, it's all this for training purposes. I can see lots and lots of applications for that. So. Perfect. And it doesn't have to be a specific brand of microphone, even if you're using something like this.
That is correct. And that just makes it so easy to integrate to your existing, podcasting setup or your existing audio setup. I really feel like this has so many different applications. I mean, we've had customers come to us and say, yeah, I work with some broadcasting stations, or I work with the broadcasting stations that do remotes, and we'd really like to be able to automate some of this stuff. So I really want to bring in Miguel, who is actually the producer and setup of this whole setup here, and maybe give us your experience. Miguel, come on in.
Okay, Miguel, while you're setting up here real quickly, let me also show you, again, we're trying to eliminate everything that's behind the camera. It's all in front of the camera. So in some cases, maybe even want some production value. I have a little Stream Deck right here with graphics that, since we're using our normal switcher that we would have in a production switcher, we can have key in graphics like this. I put a little bug here and created that. I push a button, bring it up. I could have lower thirds. I could have an intro. Anything I want on here on this row of buttons, I can just produce it right here. And you don't even know I'm doing it. I'm just on the side here producing it. So anyway, I'll throw it to you, Miguel. How did your experience here at NAB? Because he's normally the one that would be pushing these buttons if we did a production like this.
Yeah, what you just said is my favorite part of this whole solution, that you're able to take it over. So as a host and as a face of the company, you're able to have control over this podcast, which is really important for a lot of creators, because maybe they don't have the staff. But for me, in the past, honestly, it's been a situation where, sometimes it's any production stressful, and instead of being a somewhat stressed and worried all-in-one video producer behind the scenes or technical director, I'm able to concentrate more on other things. So how is your audio? Are you guys comfortable? Do we have the right props on set? Yesterday you had a really good podcast with Rave AV, and I was monitoring everything on the headphones, but I went on my laptop and I started uploading things to our social media because it was auto switching itself. And it reminded me of situations where I have an extra person on hand. I have a technical director working for me. And so honestly, it feels like I have a larger crew, but it's still just me.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we can just invite you onto our podcast says a lot, right? Because obviously we're still working here and it's all operational, so, and
right.
Professional too. I think it's a very solid production at the end of the day, and that's really what matters. So
yeah, and then I think the other really great part of this is that not only are you saving, you're saving manpower and a whole bunch of other things by not having an extra person on set, but this is ready to go. We could post this as soon as we're done. And also people could do this as a solution for a live stream.
Right. So go ahead and stream this out to a YouTube channel or whatever your platform would be. That, of course, would be a great application as well. So, right. Well, thank you so much for watching today. This is a data video solution for podcast. But as you listened, we have all kinds of ideas our customers have shared with us after they saw this. And we're so excited to share that with some of our other customers that weren't able to attend NAB. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about how to do something like this, if you want to contact us, you can do so. Of course, our website has information at datavideo.com. But if you'd like to send an email to our sales department, you can go to sales@datavideo.com. And we'll help you out directly with a workflow and exactly how this all goes together for whatever application you're trying to do. Thanks for watching.